one might say there's so much buzz around iPhone or social. The reality is it's across multiple connected platforms. So Play First is still focusing on download as sort of a leader in our business, but looking at all these other platforms. So download, browser, iPhone, mobile, social, smart devices, consoles, handheld, interactive TV even. And so I'm not going to tell you that you need to go out and hit all of these platforms, but what I'm going to do is talk about what we've done historically, kind of our strategies of porting and then innovating, and now how we actually have a strategy of doing native development on the platforms. I'm going to focus a little on iPhone and social, and if you bear with me towards the end, I've got a really cool, exciting announcement with what we're doing with Banner-5 Boom. So, Play First has a history creating great games. But you might think, well, can it be done without characters? Sure. Certainly, Bejeweled is probably the biggest casual franchise that doesn't have characters. But it can be done, but it's a much larger, a much bigger challenge. Think about how you market, how you publicize, how you build a brand. With strong characters, you have a much larger ability to leverage that across platforms. So just to give some examples, so why Flow in Diner Words? Flow is ubiquitous to casual gaming. Flow really does transcend Diner Dash, and I'm going to give some examples, but Avenue Flow is an orthogonal game, great example of how Flow is bigger than Diner Dash. And Diner Dash and other Dash games provide native opportunities across multiple platforms. All right, so how do you start? What do you do to get started in building a strong IP? It's kind of obvious, I guess, to say start with talent, but it's really critical because it's a different skill set to build a strong character and a strong brand than it is to build just a strong game, a good designed game, well-designed game. So, work with people who can draw upon great experiences and talents of creating stories, characters, lasting IPs. Remember to think of your character as a real person. And I like to call out what we call at Play First the anvil test. And what this is imagine you're creating Flow. Ask yourself the question, Flow's walking down the street, imagine you've got a big anvil, falls from the sky, drops and lands in front of Flow. What does she do? What's her reaction? The point of this is think about your character as a real person. How would they react to an instance like that? What would their response be? What would their characteristics be? So you want to give your character a real personality. So, some basics. Write your character's story, their backstory. Who is she? Where did she grow up? What were her goals and aspirations and hobbies as a kid? Create character models. Become your design templates. Create strong, detailed, thorough brand labels, live by it. Create standards guideline. But then the next key component is you to be religiously consistent in how you draw and write your character. Continue to be fresh. So as an example, over 6 years, we've created almost 25 different Dash games, and we've done this working with development studios all over the world. So it's been very hard to remain consistent and yet remain fresh in the development of the characters. So just to do a quick little history lesson.